I am so glad that you decided to click on this video. I'm Dr. Narissa Bauer. I'm a behavioral pediatrician and blogger of Let's Talk Kids Health. I wanted to take this moment to welcome you. If this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, welcome. If you have seen maybe past episodes of my Facebook Live shows, I am so glad you're back. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about who I am and some of the things that I love to do. So one of the things is as a behavioral pediatrician, I really love to help engage, educate, and empower families, especially those who have children who have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. I also help families who have children with anxiety or depression. And then I just love sort of working with families on parenting problems, because parenting, there is no one-size-fits-all approach, right? And there is not a good or bad way of being a parent. I think we're all just trying to make sure that our kids are growing and thriving and being the best they can be. So if you don't have time to read parenting books, or you might have read a lot of different books and it might be confusing, I like to sort of figure out a different strategy or maybe a different way to think about things, think outside the box, and help families feel comfortable in doing that, right? Because there's not just one way to solve a problem. And certainly I like to empower families to know that, you are teaching your children 24/7. And yes, that means they might get the good, the bad, and everything in between. But the thing is that this time with our children is the most precious time, because they are learning from us all the time. And what we can do with those moments is make sure that every moment counts. So they may see us having a bad day, but we can use that as an opportunity to engage them in a discussion about how everybody has bad days, but this is how I chose to deal with it, right? And perhaps maybe you get frustrated with your child, or like you feel guilty afterwards. Maybe you yelled a little bit too much. But I always try to tell parents, you know what? We're all human. Nobody's perfect. But if you can take the time to sort of reflect on that and then go back to your child and have that conversation like, hey, I am so sorry that I kind of yelled a little bit and I probably didn't handle that situation well. I want to first take the moment to apologize and tell you that I want to redo, right? So that is so powerful. And so I love helping empower families to know that no matter what your background is and no matter what experiences you had as a child, I know that when parents and kids can work together and have good communication, that's what really makes the difference in helping them get through the daily challenges, right? So parents need to have an understanding of typical child development, and I can help with that. But I also like to think with the parents what their goals are for their child and then how to get them there, right? So when you read a parenting book, it can sound super easy, and you might be like, oh, I'm going to try that, and it can work. It might not work, or it might work sometimes and not all the time. And that can be really frustrating sometimes. And then you throw on top of that a child's temperament. Like one child might be super eager to please, and one might be really strong-willed. And some parents, when they don't have the same temperament as their child, they're like, I don't even know how to start. And so that's what I actually love the most, is sort of helping parents understand how to read their children's cues, how to work better with them, and then how to also engage their child. So that way the child is also understanding how they can better communicate to their parent as well. So one of the things that I do is in my blogs, I love to include a lot of information on positive parenting. I also incorporate a lot of the positive parenting in a digital course that I have, which is an interactive course on Zoom with a small group of families for kids with ADHD and their parent to take together. But then they have access to videos in case they miss a class. But I interweave a lot of that positive parenting in it. along with helping provide opportunities for families to learn together but have fun. So I like to take the overwhelm out of it, especially for families who are just dealing with a recent diagnosis of ADHD or anxiety and not quite sure what to do next. And then also helping to empower the kids so that they become an active participant in developing their care plan. So while my classes are interactive and on Zoom, and I might not be your child's regular doctor, I like to have that time to educate families so that way at the end of every class you take with me, you're able to then show off all that awesome knowledge that you learned when you talk to your own pediatrician. So that's really what I love to do. I love to help families feel confident when they have a new challenge, no matter what is going on. So knowing some basic principles of parenting and child development, but then also helping fill their toolbox with a lot of different strategies, both for the parent and for the child, helping the parent and child work together. Offering through my parenting book clubs that I do on Facebook, where we read a parenting book and then we have a community there where readers will share, what they learned, what they liked, what happened when they tried it, tips and life hacks along the way. And then I also do a Facebook live show. So obviously if you're on my channel, you might see that there's full-length replays there where I bring expert guests to talk with me about issues related to pediatric behavioral health and parenting. Because I think that as a society, it's important to destigmatize all these issues. And that's partly why I named my blog, Let's Talk Kids Health. I love starting that conversation with everybody about these issues related to parenting, related to ADHD, related to anxiety, depression, and just general family wellness. And the let's is intentional because normally when I'm teaching a parenting group class, we talk about the let's command and how we shouldn't be using it only if you're going to be involved in the action, right? But this is really intentional because I want everybody to be talking about these issues together. So whether you're a parent, whether you're an educator, whether you're a child professional who loves working with kids, or you just have a general interest. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow my blog, and hopefully if you're watching one of my Facebook live shows in real time, I'd invite you to ask questions and just say hi.